Hi guys, welcome to a new knitting podcast. My name is Claudia and welcome here on Claudia's Knits. And I'm back again with another podcast. It's been about a week and a half since I filmed my last video, which is crazy soon. But to be honest, I've knit a decent amount and I really want to share the progress. And I have one finished object. It's a completely new project, to be honest. And so yeah, that's what I want to do today. I want to upload a little bit more regularly maybe, just because I enjoy filming so much. I can, this is like my outlet. I can talk about my knitting. I can talk about my mental health sometimes. And I don't want to talk about it in every episode, but it feels like it works for me. It helps me. And I do love all the comments that you sent me. So yeah, I'm wearing my storm sweater by Petiteknit. I finished it for the last episode, so you've seen it already. And this is how she looks on. It's just so comfortable and so cozy. I made a size medium and the yarn is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday in the color Dusty Olive, I believe it's called. I'm sorry. And I get so many compliments about this color. I mean, look at the contrast with my pink walls. It's just stunning. And I know this is a color that suits me really, really well. It's one of my favorite colors to wear. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. It's really soft on your skin, but doesn't feel like a kind of super wash merino. It does start to peel already. I've worn it a couple of times, but I expected it to peel this soon, just because I heard that happened with Double Sunday. I'm just going to see how this wears and I'll keep you updated if you like. Maybe I will do at the end of like sweater season a review video of my sweaters and what I think about them after wearing them for a little bit more and about the yarn. But just let me know, because I feel like it maybe makes more sense to do that at the beginning of like the fall season and the start of the sweater season. Let me know. So yeah, like I said, I have one finished object and I do have kind of a theme going on. You can see it in my nails, which is not deliberate for like my knitting stuff, but I'm deep in my pink era again. As you can see from my walls and the nice tulips over here and my nails. Pink is my favorite color because it's my happy color. It just brings joy. I don't think it's the prettiest color per se. It's just the most happy color for me. And I need it. I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk about my mental health because it really helps. I'm doing kind of okay now. But the evidence is in that everything is pink at the moment. So all my projects that I'm going to show are pink or related to pink in the sense that they're purple. So that's kind of in the same family. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think a week, 2 weeks ago, I was really feeling bad, to be honest. I struggle a lot with seasonal depression. And here in the Netherlands, that's not really the best place to be if you're struggling with that, because it's been so grey and so rainy like all winter long. But February was hard. So that's one side. The spring is starting to come. Unfortunately, not today. So that's helping a little bit, but that really affects me. And on the other hand, I'm still dealing with a lot of sadness from my breakup and having to live alone and like getting settled and getting at peace with the whole new situation. And I know it will take time. And in the meantime, I'm just doing what I can to give myself some little sparks of joy. And one thing is everything pink, and the other thing is talking to you. So here I am. And I'm going to start with the first finished object, and it's a pink hat. This is the weekend hat by Petiteknit. And I started this, I think almost immediately after filming my last episode. I'm just redoing the brim a little bit. So the weekend hat by Petiteknit is a 1x1 ribbed hat. And actually I was planning to redo the Oslo hat. This yarn, this is Katia, concept by Katia, cotton Mohair cotton, is that the name? Essentially this is a blend of, I believe, 70% cotton and 30% mohair, so it's really fluffy, but then combined with cotton. And I don't like mohair on my skin, especially around the chest area and my neck. Oh, it itches. Oh, I hate it. But as a hat, I can wear this. I had made an Oslo hat in this yarn, but that came out too small, or like especially the height I made too small. So I didn't wear that hat, and I really wanted to redo it, or just rip out the bottom, the top part, and knit a little bit more length and then finish it. So I frogged a little bit, and then I was unsure about the needle size that I used. The tension, which is completely different than a year ago, because I originally made the Oslo hat, I think pretty much a year ago. You can see it in an episode. I think in the thumbnail I have like a aqua blue sweater on, if you want to look that up. But then I didn't feel like redoing an Oslo hat completely. I frogged it, and I wanted to do the weekend hat because it's a ribbed hat, so sizing can be a little bit more, it isn't as important. I have another pink Oslo hat which is too big, and I really want to redo that as well. But at the moment I'm biking to work, going to work on a bike, and it's really cold, especially in the morning when it's freezing or it feels like it's freezing. So I really need to have a hat that I can wear. So yeah, this is the weekend hat. This is the increase on top. So I redid the whole thing. Did use a little bit more yarn than the Oslo hat because ribbing just eats up more yarn, but I did have that. So as you can see, it's just a long tube, and you can see some lines and a whole lot of fluff where you do some double knitting, and that helps you folding it down. I think, no, I know I made the size, adult size small, all needle size, I want to say 3.5. I'm sorry, I forgot to look that up. But this is how she looks. Isn't this cute? I was really unsure about the gauge. I think my gauge is pretty on, and I could have made a bigger size. Maybe I should have. But in the pattern, like all the sizes are the same set of numbers, the same amount of stitches that you need to cast on. The difference, I believe, is just in the length. In hindsight, I think I wanted more length, which is a little bit crazy because I redid a hat because I thought it was too short, and now I did it maybe again. But I haven't blocked this because I wanted to wear this immediately. Maybe I will block this and stretch it out a little bit more. Well, I have a hair clip in here, but I have a little bit of room here. Not as much as Petiteknit has. But on the other side, when I'm wearing this with a big coat on and my scarf on, that already pushes the head up in the back a little bit more, so I get that room up here. And also the problem with my Oslo hat, which is too big, is that it falls down really low, and I don't really like that feel, especially when I have like the hood of my coat also on in the rain, and then it falls in front of my eyes. So this feels so comfortable and so cozy. The one thing I don't really like about this hat, and I don't know if it's a me problem or a pattern problem, but as you can see here in the brim, you have that fold, but I feel like the fold falls a little bit too much in the front. I want this to be at the top, but it won't stay there. Maybe I can help that with blocking. Like this looks so much neater than over here. But yeah, I can't be bothered to do anything more about it or frog it a little bit again and redo the top. I just like this. I like the color. I do have some yarn left still. Maybe I will do some mittens with them. So I have a matching set, but I can't make a scarf with this yarn because then I won't wear this. But yeah, this is my first finished object. I think this took me about 4 days, and I only knit on this in the 4 first days most of the time since filming the last podcast. But I really enjoy this, have worn this, and yeah. Then sip of coffee of course. I do have one new whip, but I'll keep that at the end. This sweater, I'm modifying the Monday sweater by Petiteknit to make it a fingering weight. It's on barber cords, a whole lot of barber cords here, 3, and the needles, so bear with. And I have made quite a lot of progress on this since you've seen this last time, because I'm working on the ribbing of the body. Yeah. So this gorgeous pink, it screams spring sweater is a little bit of my own and a little bit of Petiteknit. So the yarn that I'm using is a hand-dyed yarn by my knitting friend Fem from the Mindfulcreators. I talk about her and her yarn in basically every episode for the last, I feel like, months. Apparently I'm working a lot with it, but I just love the colors. She's really great with pink yarn. So as you can see, it's speckled. It has different tones of pink. Sometimes it hints on purple, a little bit more like cherry red. There are blues and greens. This is from her cottage collection, and the color was Field of Flowers, and this is the Flowy fingering weight. So it's just a Merino fingering superwash base. And this is how it looks skeined up. So yeah, I just love this, and I'm talking about this every single time I'm showing you this. I think this green really suits me, and it falls in like the seasonal color theory. This not so much for me, but it looks wonderful on. So let's just go ahead and look at how it looks on, because I'm a little bit in love. So as you can see, it's really quite form-fitting. It's not what I typically make and not what I've made before. It is with less positive ease than I normally would, and normally I'm like oversized, but I really like how it looks. It looks like handmade for my body, which it is. So yeah, the length is that the body basically comes to the edge of my high-waisted jeans, and then I started to do the ribbing. The pattern calls for 9 centimeters of ribbing, but I don't know if I want to do that. I'm just trying it on in between. And because this is so like tighter fitting, I know I want to wear this sweater tucked in my jeans. Probably like everything tucked in. So I don't want too much length, but it needs to be long enough so when I sit, I don't like show half of my back or when I lift my arm. And yeah, so I've alternated skeins because it's hand-dyed yarn. So I do that with helical knitting, and I started when I finished my short rows. And now on the ribbing, I'm just working with one skein because that's so much easier. This is the back, by the way, and I put in a marker last time that I showed you, which was here. So this is everything I did since then. in a week, a little bit more. And as I said, I'm modifying the pattern quite heavily, and I'm making a separate video on that for haul tips. I mean, I hope you can get tips out of it if you want to modify a pattern to your sizing and your yarn gauge, and how I did it. I don't want to say that I'm an expert. This is the first time that I'm really mindful about that. But I casted on more stitches than all of the sizes in the pattern, and then divided for the raglan, just did the short row shaping as the pattern says, and it was trial and error, or maybe like trying on with how deep I wanted the yoke to be, but I quite like it. It's not as low as some of my sweaters, and I really wanted that, but I hate the feeling of like sweating in my knits, so I wanted some room and to be breathable. It is a short sweater, but yeah, I'm really short. So I did want it to finish the body, because then I can do the helical knitting on the arms, and I only have 3 skeins, which is enough. But if I had 2 skeins like leaving attached on the body and then at the same time doing the sleeves, that felt like too much of a struggle. So this is the newest skein. I just started with the ribbing with this one, and this is what I have left of the other 2. Doesn't look like much, but hopefully the bigger one will do for a whole sleeve, and then the other one I will just use the small one and then the other skein. And maybe if I really want to be mindful about alternating the skeins throughout the whole sleeve, I can work from the inside and the outside of this one. Maybe that helps a little bit, but also at the ribbing of the sleeves, I won't do helical knitting. And I think the pattern calls for 9 centimeters of ribbing at the sleeves as well, but I don't think I want that much. I like thicker ribbing, bigger ribbing on chunkier sweaters like this, but this is about 7 or 8 centimeters, so maybe I will aim more for like the 7 centimeters. I'm still loving knitting on this and seeing this project come to life, and yeah, would totally do it again. I know I will do it again, because if I see beautiful hand-dyed yarn next time, I have my pattern, my own made to measure pattern written out, so I can do it again. And I do want to have this finished soon, because we already have had some days of 14-15 degrees here in the Netherlands, and that's perfect weather for like a thinner knit sweater. So that's everything I want to say about this one, I think. Next time, maybe in 2 weeks, I will show you. I'll probably have one sleeve finished. Yeah. Maybe even more. Then I'm going a little bit quicker, I feel. But yeah, it's been not so long. My sweet shop blanket, I just want to show you because I promised, but I haven't worked on this, I would say at all, but I am adding 1 square and I haven't even added 1 square. So this is the sweet shop blanket by Penrose from Penrose Knits, and it's her scrappy blanket project, and with all the triangles, you know it. I'm a huge fan of this look. I'm a huge fan of my color choices, and now I have all my colors in here because this was the last color and this is everything that I've added. But if you haven't seen it last time or want to hear it again, my main color, which is the light color, is Filcolana Arwetta in the color Marzipan. So it's their sock yarn, holding it double. Then everything else, the color is Knitting for Olive yarn. Most of the colors I bought in Copenhagen in the sale, and I reordered an extra skein of everything from the Knitting for Olive site with some extras. So this is mole, terracotta rose, rust, dusty olive, Bordeaux, copper, plum, rose, and nut brown. And some of them are cotton merino and some of them are merino. I feel like this is a cotton merino. And I don't know what else is cotton merino. I think one other is cotton merino. I know Bordeaux is merino. Anyways, I feel like the cotton merino is a little bit softer than the merino. Just a little bit. But yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm really happy with this, but I'm taking it slow, as I said last time, because it's a really expensive project and I really enjoy knitting this, but I don't want to like hurry up with this. It can be finished next winter, so maybe 1 square a week, maybe 0, maybe 4, I don't know. But I'm excited about some other projects, so I want to keep knitting on that more because I want to have those finished sooner. So that's real quick. Next, I have 2 whips to show you and some new books again. Next whip, you know, and it's my Camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And what I did since last time that I showed you is that I did 1 armhole edge. So that isn't a whole lot, but it changes the look of this top so much. I'm a little bit flabbergasted. So this is a sleeveless top, as you can see, with quite a high neck. A beautiful like folded edge detail with that sort of like a braid going on at the edge. And this is the back. So the back comes up a little bit higher than the front. Need to show it properly. You start at the front panels. And so the front, you join that, increase for the neckline, but also later for the sleeve armhole. Then you set it aside. You begins with the back portion, so you pick up stitches and you do the back and then you join. Do basically the same, it's just higher up. Join under the arm. And I'm working on this. It's still cropped, but I really wanted to do these edges so I can look how it's going to look. But also I was really hesitant about how the finished object was going to be, because it looked, like I said last time, it looked horrible before I did the edges. So last time I showed you with the neckline and I feel like that looks really neat and clean and perfect. But I said last time with the armhole edge, it feels like a razorback kind of thing, but also on the front. And you could see my bra so well, and I couldn't imagine it being bra friendly. Well, here's the clip of me wearing it right now. I just sewed down the edge this morning, so I tried it on for the first time with this edge for this clip. Look at the difference. It feels like, it looks like the top is crooked, but this is the effect of the whole edge. I think it's a little bit like magic. Like blocking could be magic, but this is magic too. So you can still see a bra strap, but I can tuck that under, or maybe if I would like make a cross of the straps in the back. I don't normally do that, but that could be a solution, and then it would be perfectly bra friendly. So I'm taking back my words. This will be pretty much bra friendly, not 100%. I do also like how it looks without a bra. I wouldn't wear that to like work or anything, but on the summer holidays, I'm quite confident with my body, so I would go out with that. But this will be a layering piece, probably with cardigans on top of it. And yeah, I really like how this looks now. I said it last time, knitting this edge, I hated doing this with the neckline. The picking up of stitches on the neckline was easy, and I did it according to pattern. I was 2 stitches off, so I was like, great, that was successful. I thought that would be the same for the armhole edge. Well, it didn't. I followed the pattern for like the pickup rate, and then I soon realized I would have had way too much stitches, made way too many stitches. So I just put in markers on 4 points, like this is half, and then folding it in half again and put a marker in that. Calculated how many stitches I needed for each section, and I just worked to that. So it's a little bit, I feel like it could be neater, but you won't see it properly. So now it's pretty much the amount that I needed to do. Then knitting, and you do that from the wrong side also. I don't really like doing that. You can't see as much or as good where you need to pick up the stitches. Like I'm trained in me, like at this moment, after so many projects, I'm pretty much trained with how to pick up stitches. Well, doing it from the wrong side is completely different, or it feels different. And then from the wrong side, you knit an amount of rows, you cast off, and this cast off edge forms that braid, and then you sew it down. So I did that this morning with just daylight, and it made such a huge difference from doing it on the neckline that I did in the evening in the dark. And this yarn is dark, so that was really hard. And now this morning, I didn't mind it that much. So that's good news, because I really need to do one more. So if I'm smart, I'm picking up stitches soon, maybe today. Then I can leave it to whenever I feel like it. Also, yesterday I had a fun afternoon with my offline knitting friend. So I had a whole couple of hours to knit on this. So I did basically the whole edge, the knitting of it. Over there with my friends and chatting away. I haven't talked about the yarn. The yarn is Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Bordeaux. It's one of the colors that you saw in the blanket. I'm knitting the body on 2.5 millimeters because I'm a loose knitter and I really needed to get that gauge, but also it's not see-through at all, and I really like that about this kind of top, that I don't feel the need to wear another top underneath this, otherwise you could see my bra. And the edging, which is so finely knit, is on 2 millimeter needles, my Chow Red Lace Mini. I do that. So it's really finely knit. You can almost say it's like machine knit, but then you look at the edges up close and you see like, no, it's handmade. It's handmade by me and I'm really proud of it. So next time I will have the other edge finished, and then it's just the body to go, and I think it will go by fast, but I'm really excited about this now, and hopefully I can wear this with my cardigans or maybe just as a summer top. Maybe I will do that. I think it will be too hot when it's like hot outside. And I can't wear this as a top to work because I feel like I need to cover my shoulders for a little bit more professional look. I'm a teacher, by the way, so I don't have to wear professional looking clothes. I wear jeans, a sweater and jeans most of the days. So my sweaters get a lot of wear. Although with biking to work, I take off my sweater before, my hand knit sweaters before I go on the bike, because I have such a thick winter coat on, and then it squishes up the yarn, like the fabric, under my armpits. I have an e-bike, so I don't have to put in all that work, but I can get hot sometimes and I don't want it to felt under the armpits. If it happens when just normal, regular wearing, that's fine, but not when I'm biking. I'm rambling again. So this is this top. And then I'm going to my last finished object, my last whip. And it's new, and it was like when I was feeling down like the most, I think a week ago, I don't know, when was it? I really needed a project that made me happy, and I do love my other projects, but I'm overthinking again. I'm in a stage where I'm overthinking, I did that last year also. I talked about it in a previous podcast. But I'm also overthinking, like, what do I want to make once that sweater and the camisole are finished? Because this is also the transition between winter knits to summer knits. I think I talked this last time. I'm overthinking, don't know what I want to make. Don't feel really excited or inspired, except for a pattern that Lidykate makes showed, and it's a cute little scarf. So this is a mini scarf. It's called the Netty scarf, and it's lace. I don't know, like through my skin you can see the holes. And I do like working with lace or doing lace. It's really engaging, so much that I can't pay attention to what I'm watching. So that's why it is like really tiny still. But yeah, ever since I saw her wearing it, rocking it for the first time, I knew I wanted to make this, because this suits me. Because this is like a mini scarf. It's feminine to wear, but it has such a cool, modern, minimalistic touch, because the lace is is modern, is minimalistic, and I really enjoy that. I especially love her two colored one. She has a pink and orange version. So it's a tiny scarf. You start at one point, work to the middle where it's at the widest, and then you decrease. And at the halfway point, one scarf, she has to have a pink, half in orange. And I want to do that with pink, bright pink and red, one of my favorite combos. I didn't have that in stash, so this is yarn for my stash. It is a mini skein of hand-dyed yarn by Frame from the Mindfulcreators. I just had this laying around, but since it is mini skein, I can't probably do a whole scarf with this. The pattern has two sizes, so I'm already aiming for the smallest version that you can just tie in front and don't wrap around again. And then you need about 100 meters. But since this mini skein is 20 grams, it probably only has 80 meters. So I have two options. One is making the scarf even shorter, so somewhere around the middle part of the first half, skipping sections in the charts or repeats in the charts, so it's shorter, and then maybe blocking it and stretching it out with blocking so I get the length and it fits. Or looking at my stash for another color that suits this. So I grabbed some of the other midi skeins that I have. So these are the like solid ones, and this, as you can see, is brighter purple, and this it isn't the same color, or this is the closest, but it isn't the same. So I can do that and pretend it's almost the same, but maybe I should do a little bit more of an intentional two-toned, and then I could do like this cool toned pink. That would work really well, but I'm not sure, because these mini skeins are meant to go in a second sweet shop blanket that's pink and tidy, because what is more me than pink? But I don't know. I feel like it needs to be a cool tone like that, because everything else feels a little bit too warm. So yeah, maybe this one. Or maybe just alternating or altering the pattern a little bit, making it shorter. And as you can see, it's really stretchy. So I think I can make it work. Also, when wearing this and tying it in a knot, it will stretch too. Or anyway, it will stretch anyway. So yeah, this is really exciting project. I like doing this, but I really need to pay attention. So as you can see, it has a lifeline already. It comes with charts and written instruction. I like the charts, and I have done lace before. I did the Look at My Hauls by James and Watts, and I really enjoy doing that. And this feels a little bit like that, but then that top, the Look at My Hauls top, has really big lace details. And I did a barber top, which is also a lace pattern with completely different, and I really enjoy doing that as well. So yeah, this is a marker because this is basically one repeat in the chart, and I wanted to keep up with, I need to do that, let's say 5 times, I don't know what the pattern says, so I can count the markers, because counting rows is really difficult, especially also in this I-cord edge. But then I was working in the middle of that chart and I put it down. I was looking at my phone on Instagram probably, or chatting with my friends, and I wanted to pick this up, and I was like, yeah, what row was I on? I don't know anymore. So on the wrong side, I can figure that out. So we'll do that next time. So that is everything that I'm working on. And lastly, I want to show you 2 new books. I did show some books last time, and I did say some things, but I know also for myself, I don't need to take myself that seriously. I said I have the Knitting for Olive book and 52 Weeks of Scarves, and I said I don't need sock pattern books because I'm not a sock knitter. Now I bought sock pattern books. I think that retail shopping is part of my wanting to feel better. I don't think it's the best thing to do, retail shopping, but it's a collection, so it's fun. So the first thing that I bought, I know it's mirrored, I'm sorry, Charming Colorwork Socks by Charlotte Stone of Stone Knits, and I've seen her patterns all over Instagram for a long time now, and they're so much fun. And I really thought for a time, like, I want to be able to make that. Now I'm working on colorwork socks, and with working on, I mean they're in hibernation. I want to have that finished soon, but a couple of weeks ago I wanted to work on them again, and I got pain in my wrists immediately, so I stopped. But this is one of the examples that's in here. So she has seasonal or like festive patterns. So this is great for Christmas. Of course, the tulips one I really want to make. As a Dutchie, I need to, right? I like doing color work. It's fun. As I said, I have trouble with my hands and holding it tight, but I do like it. And then a little bit more contrast maybe, and like a solid color pink, of course. Pink tulips. And let's see, and this is just really fun with this color changing, multicolored contrast color. It would be fun to, in the end, say like I've knit everything from this pattern. Just give me a couple of years. And then what do I also like? Oh yeah, look at that lavender. This is so cute. Oh, she also has one with dogs. I want to show that. Maybe you've seen it before on Instagram. Look at those. That is so cute. Especially if you can match this with your own dog and then the paws. I like these. And I mean, I'm wearing them at home, but who cares? So that is sock book number 1. The next is 52 Weeks of Socks volume 1. And I do want volume 2 because I feel like this is such a great collection. Yeah, I'm a hoarder. So in here, you probably have heard of this book before. But it's all from different designers. It's just a collection of different patterns. And these are more like textured socks. There are some color works in here. This is with some lace. And what did I see? So I really want to make more socks, if you can't tell. Also because I do want to knit less garments, less sweaters. But you don't need to take, like, do not take me too seriously. Do not keep me on that. So yeah, I really like looking at this and getting some inspiration. And I do have a whole lot of sock yarn. Maybe I want to do like a stash, yarn stash tour. I don't have a whole lot of yarn in my stash, to be honest. But it's fun to look at. So maybe I will film that soon, if the lighting is a little bit better, because I store everything in my bedroom. And I want to show you how I store this. So that's everything I want to show you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're struggling like me with your feelings, with your mental health, it's okay. Know that you're not alone, and we will get through this. It will get better, and it's okay to feel sad or anxious or uncertain. That's totally fine, and it's okay if knitting helps you. Like I said to my friends yesterday, for some people knitting is not just a creative outlet or just making a garment or a piece. There is like a darker side for some people to knitting, and what I mean with that is I knit for coping mechanism. I knit for comfort so much, and I feel that is happening right now again with knitting more, making everything in pink. That is because I want this to help me make it feel better. And I feel like that is a little bit of a darker side to knitting and motivation to knitting. But yeah, that's fine. There are no rules, and you do you do what is best for you. Maybe I have so many ideas, as you can tell.